The old Blackwood house stood on a hill overlooking the town. Grey and imposing, it had been empty for years. Locals whispered of strange noises and lights seen in the windows. No one dared to go near. The house was a monument to decay, with peeling paint and overgrown weeds. It was a place of shadows and secrets. The wind howled through the broken windows like a mournful cry. It was said that the house was cursed. Some said it was haunted by the ghost of its former owner, who had died under mysterious circumstances. The truth, however, remained shrouded in darkness. One cool autumn evening, a group of friends gathered near the house. They were young and full of bravado, eager to prove their courage. The dare was simple: spend an hour inside the Blackwood house. They joked nervously as they approached the house. Each footstep crunching on the gravel driveway seemed to echo their growing unease. The leader, Mark, produced a set of rusty keys obtained from who knows where. The heavy oak door creaked open, revealing a dark and dusty hallway. The air was thick with the smell of decay and something faintly sweet and unsettling. A chill ran down their spines as they stepped inside. The house was eerily silent except for the sound of their own breathing. They explored each room, their flashlights cutting through the gloom. Cobwebs hung from every corner and dust covered every surface. As they ventured deeper, a cold draught seemed to follow them. Shadows danced at the edge of their vision. A sudden noise, a floorboard creaking upstairs, made them jump. The laughter that followed felt forced. Their bravado was beginning to crumble in the face of the house's oppressive atmosphere. They couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. They entered a dusty old library. Bookshelves lined the walls, filled with forgotten volumes. A fireplace stood cold and empty, its hearth covered in ashes. In the centre of the room was a large ornate desk. A thick layer of dust covered the desk's surface. As Mark ran his finger across it, a name became visible, scrawled in the dust. Sarah. A shiver ran down their spines. The name hung in the air, a whisper from the past. Who was Sarah and what had happened to her in this house? Section 5. Sarah's Diary. They found a hidden compartment in the desk. Inside lay a small, leather-bound diary. Its pages were brittle with age, the ink faded but still legible. It was Sarah's diary. The diary entries spoke of a young woman trapped in the house. She wrote of strange occurrences, of cold spots and disembodied voices. She believed the house was haunted, that she was not alone. The diary ended abruptly, leaving her fate a mystery. Fear, cold and clammy, tightened its grip on the group. They realized they were not just dealing with an old house. They were dealing with its history, with Sarah's terror. Section 6. The Ghostly Presence. The air grew colder. The flickering beams of their flashlights revealed a figure standing at the end of the hallway. A woman in a long white gown. Her sorrowful eyes met theirs for a fleeting moment. Then she vanished as quickly as she had appeared. The group stood frozen, their blood turning to ice in their veins. There was no denying it now. Sarah's presence was real, and she was not at peace. The air crackled with unseen energy, pressing down on them, suffocating them. Panic seized them. They stumbled back, dropping their flashlights in their haste to escape. The darkness seemed to press in on them, filled with unseen terrors. The house seemed to come alive around them. Floorboards groaned, and whispers seemed to emanate from the walls. They could feel Sarah's despair, her anger, her overwhelming sadness. They were trapped in a nightmare, hunted by a ghost they couldn't see, but whose presence they could feel with every fibre of their being. Their only thought was to escape. They scrambled through the darkness, their hearts pounding in their chests. They ran blindly, desperate to get out of the house, away from the chilling presence of Sarah. Stumbling and falling, they finally found their way back to the front door. The heavy oak door seemed to mock their efforts as they fumbled with the lock. Finally, it burst open, flooding the hallway with cool night air. They didn't stop running until they were far from the house. Gasping for breath, they looked back at the imposing silhouette of Blackwood House against the moonlit sky. Even from a distance, they could feel the house watching them. The events of the night were seared into their memories. The oppressive atmosphere, the ghostly figure, the diary, and Sarah's despair. They had escaped, but they knew they would never be truly free of Blackwood House. It had claimed a part of them, a part they could never get back. The old Blackwood House still stands on the hill, a silent sentinel overlooking the town. Locals still whisper tales of the haunting of Sarah's ghost. Some say that if you listen closely on a quiet night, you can still hear her cries echoing through the empty halls. The house remembers, it waits, and Sarah is never truly gone.